everybody. Welcome to Nexus at Night, the weekly Card Fight Vanguard podcast. Brought to you by our patrons at patreon.com/Nexus at Night. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
Couldn't even hold it in for the full statement. Weak. I'm root beer.
Oh, like I couldn't hold my breath for the entire time? Or...
No, like you just start laughing halfway through it.
Oh, no, I couldn't, because... I'm like the like fun suburban mom who's a little drunk, so they're just like, no, I'm messing everything up, but it's anyway. So speaking of things that are messing up, we're doing the other Clan Selection Plus set review today.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. So
free content.
Free content. If you didn't hear the other episode, the Clan Selection Plus Volume 1. You might want to go back and listen to that one, because you're going to be like...
era, is it ready here yet?
I mean, yeah, we got reveals for it.
Yeah.
Order. It looks sick.
I know, right?
It's like kind of hard to miss. It's easy to miss the text on that one, though.
Yeah.
On the like Soul Charge 2.
I know, I saw it. I was like, and then what? I'm like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay.
I didn't even see the Soul Charge 2. I just saw the art and I'm like, what is this card?
I thought it was a unit for a quick second. I was like, oh, okay.
But there are no numbers anyway.
Yeah. So, kind of like what we did last time, we're just going through the new cards for each clan. We'll mention any reprints that are important, but not go over the effect, because you should kind of already know what they do. Yeah. So, starting off... Why is this taking so long to load? There we go. Alright, starting off, we have Pure Heart Jewel Knight 3. Force Gift, 13k. On Vanna Rear. Again, why is this taking so long to load? My computer is being an asshole. There it goes. Vanna Rear, at the end of the battle that it attacked, Soul Blast 2, search your deck for up to one grade 2 or less card with Jewel Knight in its name. Call it to rear and shuffle. If it's on Vanguard, you can call up to 2 cards instead of 1. And then auto on Vanna Rear, when your other unit is placed on this unit's circle, counterblast 1, and that placed unit 1 until end of turn.
This also works when you stride.
Yep.
Weird. Oh, so it does. Huh.
I kind of love this thing. Braid
Yeah,
Ride
I mean,
works like a stride. It works like a Braid Ride, works like a stride, lets you multi-attack.
Like, well-designed support.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it requires Jewel Knights. And Jewel Knights were, like, really bad before this set.
Yup.
Yeah, you had, what's his name? Sword Me, and, like, that's it for good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then you got Exploding Jewel Knights, Laylee, who is a grade 2 10k. When it attacks, you put 2 normal units from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck in any order. Soul Charge 1, and she gets plus 5k for that battle. And then auto on Vanna Rear, when your other unit is placed on this unit's circle, the placed unit gets plus 10k until end of turn.
Wait a second. I think this card is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it has that, like, not only is it filling your soul, right? But also that put 2 normal units on the bottom of your deck, meaning you can recycle those Jewel Knights that you're calling Ashley, which is really, really, really important.
Did they just make an engine?
Yeah, it seems like there's like an almost complete engine here in 2 cards, which is pretty dope.
That is pretty dope. They also gave us Charging Jewel Knight Morvitus, who is a 8k grade 1. Act on rear, you can counterblast 1, put a normal unit from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck. So again, more recycling. Soul Charge 1, one of your units with Jewel Knight gets plus 5k. And then on Vanna Rear, when your other unit is placed on this unit's circle, draw a card.
This card's pretty good, but mostly for the second effect. I think the first effect's kind of bad. But it becoming another like free draw if you ride it. But otherwise, I kind of would try to avoid playing this card.
Well, it's not even that. You use it more for the recycling, and also like using force markers. Let's say you attack with it, then call stuff from deck. You know, using various Royal Paladin memes.
Yeah. But you can just infinitely recycle grade 2s.
Yeah. What's your point?
I would rather do that.
Huh. Still, it's a thing. And And then they also reprinted the original Marin for some reason, and then some promos. So,
bizarre, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Now that we're done with the good cards, welcome back to worst clan in the game status. Oracle thing, Tank, we missed you.
Aww.
Battle Sister Fromage, grade 3, protect 12k. Skill continuous Vanguard Circle. During your turn, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all units with Battle Sister in their name get plus 5,000. And then auto Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When placed, Counterblast Soul Blast. Draw a card. If you have a Vanguard with Battle Sister in his name, draw a card. So draw two cards. Act Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, discard from hand. Look at top deck equal to the number of Battle Sisters and their different card names, and then put each card you look at top or bottom in any order.
So they just did what's her name, Stolen?
Yeah.
The Stride. What's
so, like, worse?
Yeah. It seems like Bushiroad treats Battle Sister stuff like, if it was Yu-Gi-Oh, that shit would be amazing. Because you're just drawing 2 cards when you special summon it. That's dope. But in here, it's like, okay, and?
Yeah. All 3 of these things are good in theory, but, like, none of the rear guards can do anything with this.
Mm-hmm.
You're a 3 attack deck, and you can, like, barely get 30k power. How do you win?
I don't know, that restanding Stride you got from Premium Collection 2020?
Oh, that thing sucks in Battle Sisters.
Rip.
Yep. You have to discard, like, 3 cards when every other clan in the game has these ridiculous combo that annihilates your hand before you stride.
Yeah. Wait, does it have to do that after it attacks or before it attacks?
Before it attacks.
What? Why? Okay. Alright, fine.
Whack.
Battle Sister Trifle, the grade 2. So, auto Vanguard Rearguard when placed from hand. Counterblast, not that matters, because aside from the Ultima, how are you actually going to call it from anywhere else? Aside from this skill, I guess. Counterblast 1, check top 3, call 1 Battle Sister among them to Rearguard Circle, put the rest on top in any order. And then auto Rearguard Circle on its attack. If you look at your deck by a card ability this turn, until end of the battle gets 5k, then you can Soul Blast a grade 3 and your opponent can't call Sentinels from his or her hand.
There it is with the freaking Soul Blasting the grade 3 stuff. It just let them have the guard restraints.
No.
No.
Not allowed.
God.
Yeah. This card would be good if it didn't have to Soul Blast a grade 3. And then we have Battle Sister Torhas. I think that's how it's pronounced. I have no idea. Auto Vanguard Rearguard when placed. Reveal top card. If it's Battle Sister, put it in your hand. Hard once per turn. And you return it if you don't add it. And then when you look at your deck by a card effect this turn, you can have it get power plus 5,000 until end of turn. So it activates from looking at your deck, revealing cards, searching cards.
Okay. But also, why not just let them... Why the once per turn? Make it huge. What's the problem?
This is the best card in the set.
Are you serious?
Yeah. This one's just like a free plus, and it's like it's always a 13k booster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
but
actually just the best card in the set.
For OTT, we might add. So
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I just imagine. Well, no, because someone on Twitter is going to be like, "But there are better cards in the set." And we're like, "We didn't mean." No. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best
like,
OTT card in this set. We also got Choquette reprinted. It wasn't even a promo. She was a comet. Why are we reprinting this?
I think because, like, for some of these plans, it's very obvious that they didn't really need all that many reprints, but they still had it in their head. You have to do 3 reprints.
Tetramagus.
Yeah,
They could have reprinted Tetramagus.
Yeah, they could have, but they wanted.
I mean, why would they do that?
I don't know. You got that Battle Sister that when you drive check a trigger, it like triggers on itself.
My favorite is that they reprinted a common in the set, just like a set that just in a set that came out pretty recently.
Yeah.
And yes. Yeah, we'll put it in the set as triple R's common, no problem.
Ridiculous. Reprinting
because it has Battle Sister in its name. That's the only reason.
For real.
Yeah, also Melissa.
I mean, like even the reprinting of like promos or like the Draw PG, that makes sense. The common in a set that was like however many sets ago is like, really? I can go find that in the couch, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's okay. OTT is like the worst clan in the game.
Yeah. I don't know where you keep your commons. I keep mine between my couch cushions. No. Alright, so moving on to Genesis, we have Regalia of Wisdom Angelica. So, Divine Gauge fans, and by that I mean Chris and Jaime in our group chat, rejoice. Grade 3, 13k, Force Gift. On Vanguard Circle, continuous. All of your rear guards with Divine Gauge cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects and get plus 5k all the time, which is pretty cool. Auto on Van, when it attacks, choose up 2 of your rear guards and put up to 1 card from your soul face down as a Divine Gauge for each of those units. And then Auto on Van, at the end of your opponent's turn, you can discard 5 Divine Gauge and heal a card from your damage zone.
Wacky.
So, from what I can tell based on things that Jaime has put up on his blog and on his channel, I think, and Chris talking about it, the healing effect isn't all that important, but it's just...
I would expect not.
Yeah.
It's just there.
It's really not.
But
5 is a lot.
The double Divine Gauging and the constant, resist for all your guys is nice. Mm-hmm. So it's just like it and what was the other Divine Gauge? Yggdrasil are like It's a pretty solid deck apparently.
Yeah, and, I mean the one Norn can just restand your Vanguard, so like just free Divine Gauge on it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So like you now have 3 fairly solid Genesis decks. You have the Divine Gauge, you have Astral Plane, and then you have the Fenrir restanding shenanigans. So good for them. There's also Demon Exorcism Regalia Thrud. 10k grade 2 on play on Rearguard Circle. You can put get a Divine Gauge on itself, and then at the end of the battle that it attacked or boosted, this unit has 1 or more Divine Gauge, and move all of this unit's Divine Gauge to another rearguard, and put this unit into your soul and draw a card. So it's like if you have it, you can stick it somewhere else, and it's Ulysses for Divine Gauge.
All right. I have no comment on this card.
Requires more setup, and it ends up just becoming Divine Gauge on other stuff later. But I guess they need Soul anyway. So
you are pulling a fair bit of cards out of Soul for Divine Gauge, right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
There, Oblate Regalia Var, who's a 8k grade 1. When it attacks from rearguard, you may put a card from your soul, so put a gauge on itself. And then on rearguard once per turn, you can discard 1 of its Divine Gauges, Soul Charge 3. If you have a Vanguard with Regalia in its card name, kill itself and countercharge 1.
The countercharging doesn't seem very consequential.
It's not super important, it seems, but it is an option. It's not like you don't have to do that. It's a second cost, so you can be like, I'm just going to do the Soul Charge. Leave it at that.
The Soul Charging might be worth it on its own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't really care if this unit in particular has the Divine Gauge, but you can use that Soul to give Divine Gauge elsewhere.
Yeah. Or you can just put Divine Gauge back on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to put some Soul. I'm going to put some Gauge back on this and 2 over there, or whatever.
Did it.
Yep. It's fine. It's pretty good. Genesis got some good stuff. It's all Divine Gauge related, but I don't think the other 2 were necessarily struggling. So.
Yeah, but I like meme Genesis decks. So.
How is the Divine Gauge stuff not meme?
Because I don't deck my opponent out.
Oh right. Which is funny because they reprinted Witch of Frogs Melissa,
Right.
So that's fun.
It's a triple R, so you can have triple R Melissa's if you wish.
Yeah.
Instead of common ones, but whatever.
All right, Sinor Barber.
All right, so we have Kagero bringing back everyone's favorite unit, which is Dauntless Drive Dragon, here again to be
Not
to exist.
Overlord.
To not have Overlord in the name. I mean, the original one was played. Yeah. So grade 3 guy, just like his old one, and he has an ability on Vanguard Circle that at the end of the battle, your drive track revealed 2 or more normal units. One of your front row rear guards gets power plus 10,000. So if you don't hit a trigger, you get a trigger. Not a draw trigger, but like just 10k somewhere. Mm-hmm. And then it has a Vanguard once per turn, and the battle attacked. If your hand has 4 or more cards, you can discard 3 cards to stand this unit. And when rode upon, you choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets all of this card's abilities. So basically, you can go, okay, I'm going to ride on this, attack with my Vanguard, and then discard 3, stand, discard 3, stand, counter blast 1, soul blast 1, stand, with the cross.
Yeah.
So you can restand 3 times if you wish. Why would you want to do this? Being a turn later than restanding twice, I don't know. But you can do it. This card's just very overkill, mostly. It's a lot slower and very overkill.
I mean, what more could they have designed for Kagero? Like, I bet when they got to Kagero, they're like, we already like memed it to death with the with the cross and with the end.
Just have to make it do it again.
Yeah, I just
you just restand 3 times. You have 4 Vanguard attacks in your turn. How could you lose?
Yeah, you know how it is. It's just things that you do. We're Kagero. Yeah, we're all about coulda, not shoulda.
Yeah, so does anyone know?
No.
Reprinted it as a break ride, basically.
Right? They just made a break ride again. So then there's Break Breath Dragon, which is a grade 2. At the end of, and it has a rearguard skill at the end of battle that attacked. If your opponent's rearguard is retired this turn, you can retire this unit and draw a card. Which seems pretty whatever, honestly. And then it has an auto. When rode upon, you can choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, and if you do not retire, draw a card.
That's not bad.
It's fine. I don't like it. I would never put this card anywhere near my deck, but it's
card
certainly
sucks.
this. Yeah, this card sucks. So the problem is it requires you to retire elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
If it were retire this unit, retire and draw, this card is better, right? And it's still not overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Arakami unit at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you just don't put this card anywhere near your deck. So it's all right to have this card in your garbage can.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
And it's when rode upon is mostly irrelevant. So flavor text. I'm sorry, Alice.
I mean, what? I don't have some kind of attachment to Kagero. I just thought it was a neat effect. That's it.
It is, and I think it's a fact that already exists somewhere, but I'm too lazy to find it. So then we have what is this guy's name? Hayshut?
Yeah, looks like it. Dragon Knight Hayshut.
Anyway, he has a rearguard ability. When placed, kind of +1, soul +1, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's back your rearguards and retire it. Meh. It is on rearguard circle, so that's neat. But retiring back row is mostly whatever, considering most of the problem cards are not there. Yeah. But whatever. And then it has another auto. When rode upon, you can look at top 5 for a grade 3 and add it in your hand. Period. So the ride upon effect is okay. So I guess this is made to so when you're playing Dauntless, you can try to dig for it. Cause you don't. But so you just have 20 ways to find Dauntless.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what you're playing, it just seems like a lot of Kagero's grade 1s are just there.
I mean, if your goal is to meme the Dauntless, you probably need it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I still don't know if you play it.
I mean, you can also use it to dig for X and whatnot.
Yeah, but there's already 8,000 ways to dig for that guy. Mm-hmm. While playing better cards, I think. I don't know. I just don't see any Kagero players actually wanting to play any of this shit.
Yeah. No, I don't think
you just pretend
there's any reason to.
You just pretend it doesn't exist and move on with your life. It is certainly a lot less lame than the cross, but the cross is just extra lame.
It's the anger blader problem.
Yeah, Anger Blader's pretty lame, but it's Anger Blader, so. All right, so then there's some new Atomic card. Oh, did there any reprints that I care about? Not really.
Not really.
I care. Calamity Tower, man, they really reprinted that card, huh?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. I don't understand. I think they picked random cards for Kagura. It feels like they just picked random cards and threw it in a dartboard. But hold on, you could play Burn Rise Dragon and give your crit to your Dauntless Standing guy if you really want. So that's cool, I guess. At least the PR they put in the set fits with the overkill. So let's move on to Nubatama, a card that actually is more interesting. Evil Stealth Dragon Tasogare Hanzo. So this is Hanzo's version 2.0. So it has an auto in the hand at the beginning of your opponent's turn. If your Vanguard is the older Hanzo, the Katsuki Hanzo, you can discard 2 cards, ride this card as rest. All of your rear guards get shield plus 5,000 at the end of your turn. At the end of that turn, you ride the old Hanzo and affirm your soul as rest. So basically, it makes all your little shitty interceptor guys 10k intercepts.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you have to discard 2, which is like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the tokens that are made for intercepting, then.
Yeah,
right.
But you still have to discard 2 cards from your hand.
I know you do. Run lots of draws, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
So then he has another ability which activates in the soul. So he has no abilities that actually activate on board. They're all activating from random other places. When your Vanguard with Hanzo in its card name attacks, you can retire a grade 0, call this card to rearguard circle, and until end of turn, this unit gets power plus 20,000 and can attack from the back row. And in a turn, you put this unit into your soul, and if you put it in your soul, you get an evil decoy token. Which is 5k intercept, guys.
I mean, I know that, it seems convoluted and stupid, but if nothing else, both of those effects are incredibly original and incredibly interesting.
Oh, it is a neat card for sure.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of shit I like to see on cards, even if this card particularly I don't think it's that great. I really think these effects are really cool and something that I would have liked to see much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are really neat defensive things that also this card has no abilities on the Vanguard Circle. It's honestly incredible that they even printed this card. Which, if this is the new design team, makes me feel a little better.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think this card's neat, except that I think it's kind of butt. But I think that's a new Batama problem more than a Hanzo problem.
Yeah. Especially since they just randomly decided to go into the evil decoy tokens instead of making more Shiranui support or something.
Yeah, the Shiranui stuff's pretty cool. But
almost good, but not quite there.
Yeah.
But now we have Hanzo support.
The problem is they're just the worst ninja clan, honestly.
Aw. Which is funny, because it used to be the other way around.
Yep, sure did. And now they're the same. All right.
Yeah.
So, the great... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, just if... I really hope that they try something like this again, because that's all... It goes from almost like a quick effect to... for defensive purposes, and then becomes an attacker on the next turn, and then it just goes back in. And
yep.
I don't know. I want them to try it again in the future.
I mean, a 32k attack from the back row is pretty neat. It's, generating extra attacks there, along with the mask. Oh, well, I guess you're not playing a Shiranui in this deck, unfortunately. Now, if only there was a way to combine all these things.
Yeah, they almost did it where it was there was stuff with token support. They just didn't care what token.
Yeah.
And it was oh damn, are they gonna fucking...
Nope, sure didn't.
Damn it, so close.
Yeah. So the other card is evil. So there's the grade 2 that they printed is Evil Stealth Dragon Yamishibuki. So it's a grade 2 that has a continuous on rearguard circle that this unit gets power plus 5,000 for each of your grade 0 rearguards. So for each little decoy token you have, this thing will get 5,000. So it basically makes it it's boosting, but it's boosting even from the back center, for example, where you probably have one of these things. And then it has an auto on Van or Rear that will, when it attacks, you can counterblast one, bounce a rear guard, and call up to 2 evil decoy tokens, which is actually a pretty strong effect. One could even bounce that Hanzo, right? So,
Yeah.
So the idea now is that like that's why the Hanzo has that clause, like if it's put to soul.
Mm-hmm.
So that you just making 3 for counterblast 1, right?
Yeah. And also, it's good that first effect is continuous, so that if you do the second effect, you like just plus 10k to yourself.
Yeah, so this thing could just be like random, like 19k or 19k attacker without we were starting with no decoys, which is probably unlikely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this card's pretty neat. I like this card actually. I think it fits well. Works on Vanguard Circle. Lots of ways to get quick decoy tokens, so you can use them for stuff. But you got to be playing the decoy token stuff already. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Then the last card is Evil Stealth Dragon Kage Sadashi. So it's a grade 1. It has an act on Rearguard Circle where you can just retire it to call 2 decoy tokens. And then, if you have a Vanguard with Hanzo in its card name, you put a card from your hand into its control, search your deck for 1 card with Hanzo in its card name, reveal it and put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. So you can actually use it to search for... if you're on Hanzo, you can search out another Hanzo by putting a card from your hand into soul, which probably also is another Hanzo.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So you just get all the Hanzos out of your deck, I guess, is what they want you to do with this card.
Seems fine.
Is this card good? Yeah, this card seems sick enough. I would play it because it lets you just take grade 3s out of your deck, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would do it for the sheer beamery.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't have much else to say about this card. Or really Nubatama, because I don't know what any Nubatama PRs do.
Actually, no, it's all cards. It's 2 triple Rs that got reprinted, and then Sakura Fubuki, who is a rare from that first set of support they got. So it was all stuff that needed to be reprinted.
Oh, sick.
They did it. Good job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this card. Yeah. These cards are kind of dope.
Yeah.
All
right, and now for the ultimates in Yellow Card Vanguard's controversy.
God,
in the continuing line of cards I read being horribly disappointing, Beast Deity Ethics Buster.
Hey, you got to pick the clans in advance. You could have picked other stuff.
No, he had to pick Overdraft.
Oh my god.
Hey, all 4 of the clans I picked were ones I actually play. So Auto Vanguard Circle, when placed or rode upon, discard 2, and one of your units with Beast Deity in its card name, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. At the end of the battle, if the attack did not hit, stand that unit, and if the attack hit, that unit gets drive -1 until end turn.
God.
And then, when your unit with Beast Deity in its card name attacks, you can counterblast 1, and that unit gets 5,000 until end of turn.
This card just has so much text, it makes you think it's going to be good. And then it's just not.
Yeah. It's really, really bad. Because you have to discard 2 up front, and then really hope that your opponent doesn't let it hit it so that you can restand your Vanguard. Otherwise, you just spend, potentially counterblast 1 as well if you give the plus 5,000 to just hit and get drive -1. And then really hope you have the grade 1, which we'll get to, so that you can actually do what it's intended to do. And I know if the attack didn't hit, stand is on every Beast Deity card, it's just... I don't know. This could have done something different.
Like what?
I mean, there was Ethics Buster Extreme, where if you just drive check a normal unit, you could restand one of your Beast Deity cards.
They should have just printed reverse.
Yeah, or they could have printed reverse, where you... I mean, that's the intention, right? Is this is supposed to be a restander. They could have just made it a restander without the weird Beast Deity effect on it.
I don't know what to tell you. I guess if they were to do reverse, it would just be resting instead of locking, because they don't do that.
I hate conversations revolving around Beast deities because it reads BD, and I think he gets Bang Dream every time. And I know that's not the case, but I have to I have to recheck every single time. I hate it.
Yeah, there's just stuff like that where it just adds to your brain, and you're like, okay, wait, hang on.
Yeah. But probably because I'm dumb, honestly.
And then we have Beast Deity Typhoon Bird, which is grade 2. So act Vanguard Rearguard Circle once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Beast Deity in its name, Counterblast 1, look at top 5, call one Beast Deity that is not grade 2 as rest, and shuffle your deck.
What? But
God, just let him have it.
It's a Luminal Dragon support. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Understood.
Who also got reprinted in this set, so good for him.
Dope. Nice.
Oh, good. They reprinted the relevant one.
Yeah.
Sick. That card's dope, actually.
Yeah. And then we have Beast Deity Lift Toro, so grade 1 AK. When placed during your main phase, you can stand one of your units with Beast Deity in its card name.
Wait, units? That means it can stand your Vanguard.
Yeah, so if you have this card, you can make Ethics Buster less shit.
Or if you're playing against Mega Colony, you're like, haha, take that, Vanguard stun.
And its other effect. Holy shit.
Yeah, and when your Vanguard's attack hits, you could, on Vanguard Rearguard, look at top 5, reveal a grade 3 with Beast Deity. You put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand and it's on Rearguard Circle, put it into Soul.
Wait, so it can get a Luminal Dragon. Got it.
You know what's interesting about this card? It's called Beast Deity Lift Tauros, but fun fact, it's actually a Capricorn. Who knew?
What are you talking about?
For the 2 people out there who are like, guys, astrology is my jam.
Look, man, I'm not going to judge people for this astrology. I mean, have you seen people? Dude, they pay attention to the stock market.
Can't say I disagree.
We do have Illuminal Dragon, so that's pretty nice.
Dope.
And Scarlet Bird for some reason.
We did it.
Yeah.
All right.
Gans Dragon was a double R that was in a really old set.
Okay, that's good.
Is it still played?
I don't know. When your other units attack, if you have a grade 3, you can Soul Blast. I guess you could use that.
Well, that card seems whatever. Anyway, so let's read some dope cards now. Galactic Beast Zeal. So Dimension Police didn't get Daikaiser, unfortunately.
Disco Stick Kaiju.
Because Bushiroad hates me specifically.
Yes, they do.
So they don't want to print Daikaiser because that card is too cool.
They hate Different Fight too, apparently.
Yeah. It's actually tragic. Anyway, but Galactic Beast Zeal is actually pretty neato. So it has an auto on Van Rear. When placed from hand, you can look at the top card of your deck and call it Rearguard Circle. If it's on Vanguard, you get to choose one of your opponent's Vanguard and minus 5k for each marker on your opponent's circles. So if they've been stacking, markers for some reason on their, let's say, your dumb Angel Feather opponent Smash and Protect 2 for some reason, and has 3 of them on their first grade 3 turn for some reason, you just minus 15k.
That's the worst example, too. If you're playing against Genesis, this just punishes them hard.
Oh yeah. Genesis is minus 25 your Vanguard or something, dude. And they're like,
And
unfortunately, doesn't work on Protect 1.
Yeah, so that's on place. And then it has another ability, an act, on Vanguard Circle only this time. You can counterblast 1 to put 1 or more rear guards into your soul. Choose one of your opponent's Vanguards until end of turn. It gets power minus 10,000. And if it's grade 3 or greater, and the grade 2 idiots in your soul, it gets drive plus 1 for every 2 units put into your soul for this cost. So for turn 1, you can just put 1 unit in your soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's take their Vanguard.
Yeah.
And then turn and that's with them being grade 2.
Yeah. So they'd be just at zip or minus 1.
Yeah. Zip or minus 1 probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're probably not getting minus just from your ride unless they're exactly Genesis.
Yeah. Also, funny thing, Vanguard has negative power, so you can go minus a whole bunch if
Start battling.
you. Also, because Zeal's skill places from hand, you can actually use this with Black.
Yes, that's true. Which is a pretty cool build, honestly. So you can attack with Black, rewrite into Zeal minus more to your opponent's Vanguard, and then especially if they're stacking circles, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Undo
God forbid
those triggers.
they're playing something where they have two circles in play on turn 1, and you're like, oh cool, minus 10k, keep attacking.
I gotta say,
make Zeal into Great Daisha, right?
Yeah.
I love that Root Beer tweeted out just the reminder about the negative power numbers, and a bunch of people were paid attention to that tweet. It was such an innocuous thing, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah."
So then we have a Devourer of Planets Zeals. This is the grade 2 guy,
Sweet
the
name.
one you need in your soul for the big guy. He has an act on Van and Rear, where you can counter +1, rest 2 rear guards, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard, and minus 5k, and that works on rear guard too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you do have to rest 2 rear guards, which you can then eat to Zeal. And then if you have the grade 1 in your soul, you draw a card, which is actually pretty value. So if you're riding it, and you draw a card when this is on rear guard, and you have the grade 1 soul.
Yeah, you can get that too.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. So then when rode upon by grade 3, you minus 5k the ranker. Great.
For free. Yeah.
So
And
the
it does
turn
not
you
have
ride-
to be Zeal. So
Correct.
You can ride Black and just minus 5 to your opponent's Vanguard.
Black minus 5k, ride Zeal. Bam, gotcha. They're not gonna have a marker at grade 2, so whatever. But they're already 5k, whatever.
Yeah.
Got them. And then the grade 1, which is the when placed on Van or Rear, you look at top 7 to reveal up to 1 grade 2 or greater card with Zeal in its card name and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. No discard.
And that's on Van and Rear too, so you can
Correct. And there's no discard, no shoving it to soul. Just a good laser beam guy.
Yep.
This card has exactly the same art as the old one. It's wild.
I know, right? I think they just turned it the other direction.
He's a little 4K'd up and facing the other way.
Yeah. Actually, let me see how similar this is. Because the grade 2 Zeal, they turned him to the side at least, and then the grade 3 they look about the same. But wow, that is.
Yeah, the grade 1s were almost so close.
What are these reprints though? One of them is just a 10k vanilla.
Wait.
No,
what?
it's not. No. Twin Order was a grade in V Series is a grade 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Relax.
You're mean
The
to
link
yourself.
sent me to the old one for some reason.
Oh, weird. No.
It's supposed to be a huge boost to your Vanguard eventually, but
Okay.
it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's when it boosts, one of your Vanguards gets
Okay.
plus 10k for each force marker.
And then Platinum Mace was also reprinted once before.
But it's still
Yes.
a needed reprint, isn't it?
Yeah, but now you can have a triple R reprint instead of a single R reprint.
Yeah.
And then
Hey, good
Quilt,
for you.
I guess, randomly, sure.
Yeah, that one was guys, we need another reprint. Dartboard. Throw the dart at the dartboard.
Alrighty. Big man himself. So I was kind of... So Dudleys are kind of annoying because everyone in GR kept asking if Dudleys were playable, but nobody actually cares.
That was me. That was me asking.
Yeah.
And over.
And I have to keep telling Atlas that nobody gives a shit. Dudleys. But now here he is, Demonic Lord Dudley Lucifer. So Atlas can throw his old Dudley Lucifers away now instead of keeping them in his trade binder. Grade 3, of course. And when he's on Rearguard Circle, has an auto ability when placed by a card's ability, Soul Blast 1 to countercharge 1. Decent trade-off, actually. Spike Brothers just ends up with a bunch of soul. And that's the way to spend it. And has an auto on Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, you can counterblast 1, put a Rearguard into your soul, draw a card, call it to one card with Dudley's card name from your hand to Rearguard Circle, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can give it 10k. Which is not bad.
Yeah.
I like this card, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use this card with any other grade 3. And combine their forces to make Rising Nova, I guess. But I'm gonna try some nonsense.
Yeah,
But yeah,
deck
no,
building with spikes must be pretty wacky because you're like, okay, I can combine this with literally anything else.
Yeah. You read a Vanguard in your ability, you're like, all right, how do like? So your first thought is Rising Nova. How does this work? So you're like, oh, maybe I want to. Maybe you're like, all right, I'm going to combine this card with, Bull Spike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I'm going to combine this card with Cyclone. Or like, I'm going to combine. So you're like, on attack, counterblast 2, eat a rear guard, stand 1, call 1 from hand, draw a card, call deadly from hand. So you get, you're still like generating extra attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing it in kind of like weird ways now. And like this is like it's like if you have the Dudley, I think it's just better than the Stand-A Guy one. If you have the Dudley.
Stand-A Guy one. God.
The Cyclone.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, but but it's pretty easy to get the grade 3s in play because you have like Rona and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried about getting the grade 3s in play, but I do really like this card. Despite it being like seemed like not doing very much, but I like it because of Rising Nova. Because it's kind of more of Cyclone, but not as bad. And then the card that kind of the Dudley that you care about playing with it is Dudley Davy. It's a grade 2. It has auto when placed on van or rear. You can counterblast 1. Search your deck for one non-taped grade 2 card with Dudley and call it. I think this is a great card because you're always going to call the grade 3 with this.
You're always gonna call the Lucifer.
Always Lucifer.
Yeah.
Because you need it for you can. This is another thing that calls a grade 3 for Rising.
Right.
So like, you're already getting like this card's just so good for that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I like this card. Like I like the Dudley grade 3 too, is because you always have an additional call for that card.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you find any other grade 3, you're good to go. And then it has an auto on rear once per turn. When you place a force marker, you can soul charge 1. So I think it's once per turn, just so it includes moving the marker as well. Because you could either just keep like bouncing it with like Dread Heat, Bull Spike, or whatever, with like weird combinations of things. And then also it would be weird if you place 2 force markers. Who would do that? So they don't want you doing that either. So
fair enough.
Soul's not bad either.
I mean,
then the worst. Go on.
The calling the Lucifer, it just refunds its own cost. So
right.
you just, always good. I'm done. Continue.
Yeah, and the worst of these 3 cards is Dudley William, the grade 1. At the end of battle with boosted, you can put it in your soul, choose one of your units, and move all your force markers on your circles to that unit circle. And then when we're upon, you can call it. So it's like it's like a free call that you put back into soul. But I don't think this card's. I think this is the worst part of the 3.
But it's still not that bad. It's like whatever.
No, but it's like it. I guess it saves a soul. It like costs a soul to save a soul later because it calls itself. So I just don't really see the point.
So it's the Vanguard equivalent of a 401k, basically.
Yeah, basically you're just like paying a soul up front to be able to have a really. I don't know. I don't think this is a card where you want to be. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think the Lucifer and Davy are both quite good.
Yeah.
The reprints are really irrelevant at this point, honestly.
Let's see it.
Don't Bracky, Gary Gann, and Wonder Boy. I just don't care. But
are those all rares?
They were all rares originally, which means you can't. I think Wonder Boy might have been common, but that means you can get now triple R versions of them, which is pretty dope. And of course, Cheer Girl Ireland, the PG.
Yeah. See, actually, that's something I didn't consider. What if like some of these reprints aren't because they're needed, but because like you want to, like up the rarity of your commons and rares?
Yeah, no. That's actually I think the best version to do it. But I think like people like playing that they're just like not reprinting for I'm trying to think of like one off the top of my head, but like it's like come on. I guess they are the PGs at least.
Yeah. All right, so they gave Pale Moon some Nightmare Doll support, which, while not my cup of tea, it is something I've experimented with. So we got Nightmare Doll Chelsea, who is a grade 3 with the Excel gift and the 12k. Auto on Van, at the end of the battle it attacked, you can counterblast 1, call up to 2 workoroids from your soul to rearguard. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, those called units get plus 10k till end of turn. And then on rearguard at the end of the battle it attacked, if your Vanguard is a workoroid, which if you're running Nightmare Dolls it should be, you put it into your soul, choose up to one of your opponent's rearguards, and your opponent puts that into his or her soul. So the coolest thing you can do with this is there's a stride that after it attacks it goes away, and then you're stuck on your Vanguard rested. So you can use that with Nightmare Doll Carol, who is one of the reprints in this set, who after a rearguard goes into soul, you can basically ride a Nightmare Doll from soul, or a workoroid, sorry, as stand. It gets drive -1, so you can re-ride this Chelsea here, get another attack with her, and then, call 2 things, and then they're going to get plus 10k. So it's like a weird little multi-attack thing that you can do. That second effect is also kind of nice, because you can get rid of that Hanali that your opponent calls mid-battle phase. Mm-hmm. So, good Nightmare Doll. Anything you guys want to say about it?
I imagine you would just do what you described just now alongside the Alice combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what you do. Alice is one of the other reprints. There's also Nightmare Doll Marissa, who's grade 2 9k, when placed from hand, which, fuck, that's the worst thing for Pale Moon. You can put a card from your hand into your soul. Again, why? Look at top 7, reveal up to 2 non-grade 2 workoroid normal units from among them, put them into your hand and shuffle. So you can search for your Carol and your Chelsea and all that good stuff. So that's nice, at least, but just kind of sucks that she's literally useless any time of the game besides turn 2. So, awkward. And then the third one, Nightmare Doll Abigail, is a grade 1, 8k. On Van, when placed, soul charge 1, fine. And then on rear, at the end of your turn, you can retire this unit and return a grade 3 workoroid from your soul to your hand. If your Vanguard is a workoroid, you countercharge.
A bit late for the countercharge, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's an option for countercharging that you can do next turn, so that's cool.
I mean, if you didn't kill your opponent after going into the full Alice combo, you did something incredibly wrong.
Or you were just too far behind for it to matter. They have another Nightmare Doll from G-Era that's like on play if you have, I think it's like 3 workoroids or a workoroid Vanguard, something like that. End of your turn, then you countercharge. So I think that's a thing that they're trying to avoid, is mid-battle phase countercharging. So like you can still do the thing next turn, you just can't do it now, because that's apparently
it's like
too strong.
fair, which is dumb, because you just want to infinite loop Alice.
Mm-hmm. Pale Moon has turned into this deck, be it Harry or Silverthorn or this. The decks have now become this thing where you want to just kind of take all the damage on the chin, just close enough to not die. And then you use one turn and just push it all back. It's this weird tempo thing. Yeah. They reprinted Amaranth Beast Tamer, which was a common, which, again, I think it's like we ran out of shit to reprint, so just, here you go. But yeah, all in all, this is pretty good stuff for Nightmare Doll. If you want content on this, our friend Hal, Vanguard Punk, is a Nightmare Doll fan. I'm sure he's going to have something up there in the future, so keep an eye on his channel. We'll put a link to it in the show notes. Yeah, it is time for the fishing season, my friend.
Alright, Legendary Prism Duo Nectaria. It's a grade 4, 14k. Ooh. With a force marker. So,
Scary.
Act hand, bind this card. Search your deck for 1 normal unit, bind it. Hard once per turn. And then continuous Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. During your turn, if you have a card with the same name in your bind zone, it gets power plus 10,000. And if it's on Vanguard Circle, it gets critical and drive plus 1. I don't know why you would ever ride this card.
You're the expert?
you don't ride this card. What you do is, when you draw this card, you use its skill to bind another copy of itself, and then it lives there in your bind zone forever until you call it with Vert.
There you go.
And then next turn, you probably just put it back into your bind zone with Vert, if there is a next turn. Yeah, this card is really good. It adds a lot of early consistency for Vert. It also means you can stride more, because you don't have to set up your bind zone as much. It's like
That's
half the
pretty
fun
dope.
of premium. It's like half the fun of premium is doing dumb, bad stride plays.
True.
Are you gonna, is this gonna be upgrading your deck for the channel?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna play 3 copies of this.
Mm-hmm.
Vert is the only relevant grade 3 anyway, so it's not like you're making the deck any more inconsistent.
Nice.
Then the other 2 cards are not prisms, which is only mildly irritating. So Norfixer Hilda, continuous rearguard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater or Vanguard, it gets boost, and then when your grade 3 or greater unit is placed during your battle phase, if it's in the back row, you can stand it. This card is
Free.
very inconsequential.
It's free.
Yeah, but like, so is Lieselot, who is a million times better. You probably just don't play this. Like, in Prisms especially, your grade 2 lineup is already stuffed. There's no reason to play this when you can just play all of the good cards that give you a ton of advantage. And then we have Innocent Smyrnil. So when placed, reveal normal unit, put bottom of deck, draw, and then rearguard circle once per turn. When your grade 3 or greater unit is placed during the battle phase, if it's in the back row, you can have one of your Vanguard get power plus 10,000. Again, there's no real space in this for Prisms. You could just play better cards.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad for them. Like, most of that is, like, interesting. But they're just too good.
And then the reprints do not matter.
Oh. Rip.
Well.
Okay. Well, it is time. Time for us to, How the Mighty Have Fallen.
Okay, what do you mean mighty? This card was never good. Blue Wave Marshal Valeos. So he is a grade 3 with no gift and 12k power. Noticing a trend with the no gifts on cards that were like the villains in the last season of G Era.
I think that was on purpose, where it's like they decided there's like a lore reason to it, where they're like, I am.
Yeah, but this card is like extra bad because of it. I think even with the gift, this card isn't good, but it's like even worse without it. So act once per turn, counterblast, soul blast, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard until end of turn. Gets power minus 5,000, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3, you can't increase its power other than by this effect in Guardian Shield. Act, you can discard a copy of itself, remove all markers from your circles, and call up to 5 cards from your drop zone, and then once per turn Vanguard only. At the end of the battle, your unit attack to choose 2 rear guards and swap their positions.
Whack.
So if the term weapons grade bad take can be subscribed to anybody, it's me. For
why?
One, I thought this was going to have a gift because I just saw the effect written and not the actual card. B, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to justify it. I had a bad take. That's it.
All right.
See, that's the thing, is like, on paper, everything this card says is really good. Okay, maybe removing all of the markers from your circles isn't very good, but like, you do get a whole bunch of rear guards back, so that's like, okay. But then you run into the problem of like, you don't make nearly enough advantage, especially with Blue Wave support, to actually get a copy of Valeos in your hand. And, you know, exchanging the position of your rear guards, again, you don't make enough advantage to have rear guards worth swapping into. Half the time when I was testing this, I had to swap into a grade 1, which just screwed me over later because I couldn't intercept.
Rip.
Like, this card is spectacularly bad, and is a very good reminder of why Thavas was always the meta one.
Rip.
I think I get tunnel vision for the damage triggers not working for the turn thing. Like, I want that to be good so bad. But everything around it is just not worth it enough.
When are we getting Tetra Drive?
The future?
The superior Blue Wave boss.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then, like...
we also have Blue Wave Marine General Galliot. So, auto Vanguard Circle when attacks, you can Counter Blast 1, stand one of your Blue Wave rear guards. And then, on Rearguard Circle, once per turn, at the end of the battle it attacked, if your opponent's Vanguard's power is different from its original power, Soul Blast 1 position swap with the same column.
Whack.
I mean, this card is bad for all of the same reasons that Valeos is bad. Like, you don't make nearly enough advantage to be able to take advantage of it, and even though you have the -5 from Valeos, this is still just a 9k attacker, so it's a 1-card guard. Or most of the time, especially if you're going to be position swapping it, so it's just not really worth it.
Seems like it... Oh, wait, yeah, Revon isn't, like, Blue Wave last card Revon, it's just Revon.
Yep.
So you can't even, like, do Revon shenanigans with it.
You can, but, like, if you're playing Revon, you could just play good cards.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is this card is just too small for the position swapping to matter, even with minus power on your opponent's Vanguard, because, again, it's a 1-card guard, and you want to multi-attack with big numbers like Thavas or even Revon.
Yeah, or, like, also another thing that, like, the reason Aqua Force's position swapping was good before was the point was you would use it with, like, Wheel Assault and, like, reuse the Excel Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Attack with your guy, move that to the back, move the guy in the back to the Excel Circle, and then
or
attack with it again.
Going back to the ancient days of Vanguard, like, you're trying to build up your wave number so you could get a really good effect on your Vanguard, but Valeos doesn't enable that.
Yeah. So, like, it's just, what's the point then? And he can't even do... It's the same column, so you can't be like, alright, Excel and the guy in the back. It just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we have Blue Wave Senior Soldier Corvette. So, during your turn, if you have a Blue Wave Vanguard, gets power plus 5,000. That's nice. 13k attacker. Actually relevant, because it means your opponent can't intercept if you try to attack them with this.
Hey, maybe it'll be like... if Tetra Drive ends up being any good, you can just use that.
And when it's attack or the attack at boosted hits a Vanguard, look at top 3, reveal 1 Blue Wave, put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah, like the grade 1 in OTT, this is probably the best Aqua Force card because it, like, gets you advantage. And it is the only card that on its own can actually take advantage of Valeos' power reduction, because it's a 13k attacker, so your opponent has to at least put down a 10k shield, which, you know, somewhat relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reprints we got were Coral Assault, which is nice. Coral Assault has become a very important card for
literally every deck.
Unsurprising.
Yeah. And then we also have Galeas, which is the one generic Blue Wave card that can, like, carry over into working with Valeos. So, and that one was a triple R, so those are both, like, pretty nice reprints. I have no idea what this Battle Siren card... Oh, it's a promo that... This promo is actually decent. I was experimenting with it just because it is another attack with your opponent has different power, and more attacks is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this Blue Waves really just want volume of attacks, not necessarily power, because they just can't get enough power to matter.
Mm-hmm.
And the last card's Draw Your Enter Man.
Yep. So yeah, Aqua Force, like one of the few clans in this set where the reprints make perfect sense.
Neat.
Why?
Hamsters.
No! Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay.
You just pretend that they don't exist. No one will care.
No, I have to. First of all, this guy is holding a crayon, which means he killed Crayon Tiger?
Wow.
Possibly?
No, no, there are multiple crayons.
Oh. Hamstay's rival Jumbo Crayon Hamion is a grade
God.
3, 12K. Hey, I'm not any happier about it than you are. Okay? So, 12K, it's got, Excel gift. Act on Vanguard once per turn. You can counterblast 2. Discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for any number of cards with Hamstay and their different names. Call them to front row, rear, and shuffle. So, steep cost, but that's a lot of cards. That can be if that's on first ride, that's a +1 if the front row is empty. And then auto on Vanguard. At the end of the battle, it attacked. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can discard 2 cards from your hand. Reveal the bottom card of your deck. If that card is Pencil Hero Hamstay, ride it as stand, and that unit gets drive -1 till end of turn. So, this might seem like kind of innocuous, but it all kind of comes together at the end in the dumbest way possible, because of course it does.
Yep.
Except the hamster overlords.
Okay, so the next card they gave us is Hamstay's rival Nail Pencil Hamgoro. Grade 2, 9K. On van or rear, when placed from hand, you can counterblast 1. Check top 3, reveal up to 1 Hamstay, put it in your hand, put the rest on bottom, and then act on rear. If you have a Vanguard with Hamstay in its name, put 2 cards with Hamstay and their card names from drop zone to bottom. He gets +3K until end of turn. So, this is good because, one of the big problems with the Hamstay quote engine is you run out of them. So, this just lets you recycle them and, lets you correct your ride. And then lastly, there's Hamstay's teacher, Dip Pencil Hamyuki, who's a grade 1. On van, when placed, you can discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 Pencil Squire, that's the grade 1 Hamstay. Call it to rear and shuffle, and then act on rear. Once per turn, if you have a Vanguard with Hamstay and its card name, you can put 2 cards with Hamstay and their card names from your drop zone on bottom of deck and countercharge. So good.
So if you ride this, you can discard, search for the grade 1 Hamskate, call it, and then use its effect at end of turn to
search the grade 2.
Search the grade 2 and put it into soul.
It adds it to hand, so when you ride it for your grade 2 ride, it's live.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card is so good.
This card is dope. This card makes the whole Hamskate thing work. It gives you 8 grade 1 Hamskates, which is what you need.
Yeah, so I was, in my V Premium, V Standard, whatever you want to call it, I'm running the Hamstay stuff just because, it's very helmet, but I think now there's, a little more nuance, especially with this crayon guy. But it's so much cheese, because it's you ride the grade 3 Hamstay, you get the 2 Excel circles, you call 2 things from deck.
So hamsters eat cheese?
I'm not sure. But in any case, when you do that, it's a lot of attacks and power up front, and then you kind of need a way to capitalize on it, but now with this crayon guy, you have it. And especially now that you have things that are putting cards on bottom, you can control when to ride restand the Pencil Hero Hamstay, which then calls 2 guys from deck, some more attacks. It's cool. It's a thing. I don't think I'm going to run it in Premium ever, in regular Premium, but I have a couple of friends that won't do Premium, so I'm probably just gonna pick up a set just for them, because it's one of those things where I'm I hate all of you.
You can play it against my Dudley nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where I'm I hate all of you, but good job.
All right, and are you going to talk about these reprint Hamskates at all?
Well, no, because it's just the grade 3, 2, and 1 Hamstay. That's it.
Literally.
Yeah.
No other important cards in the clan, actually. So it's fine.
I know. Honestly, though, a lot of those Triple R stuff, they're not that expensive, and even then, you don't really run them. You don't run 4 binoculars.
No, all of the expensive cards for Great Nature are because they're ancient.
Yep.
And
Grand
not
tighter.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. They also got a reprint for Majesty Lord Blaster. So that's a thing.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the end of the set. Who won? Who lost?
Yeah. So my favorite cards of the set are Zeal and Dudley.
Gee,
but
wonder why.
Yeah, but I do think the Hanzo's cool, despite not caring about that clan. And yeah, that's like the only cards I give a shit about, actually.
Yeah, I like the Jewel Knight stuff. Obviously, I like having what's her face, Nectaria. Hamskate stuff seems really funny, and it makes you upset. So of course.
Of course, yeah.
Zeal is really cool. And yeah, those are the ones I like. And I was completely negative about 3/4 of the clans I review, so take a wild guess who I think lost the set.
All of them. All of us. All of us lost.
Trick question. The answer is 5 in a burrito. I don't know.
So
I think.
standard win?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and this puts to bed V Series being standard. And
Wait. So we're not reviewing Bang Dream? Thank God.
Wait,
we already did. Hold on.
No, we are
we're
not
gonna- we're
reviewing
gonna-
Bang Dream.
Oh, God.
we didn't do.
Heard it here first. Bang Dream is out. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Look,
We
I'm
didn't
gonna
do, what's it
pre-order a box and then do a box opening. I don't care to actually play Bang Dream because I don't play the game or I didn't watch the anime. I do not care about Bang Dream.
That's all you get, jerks. No, and yeah. So this being like the last, major set of V Series, I think it's important for us to say, like, our last thoughts for this like era of Vanguard before we officially move completely to Overdress.
That could be a whole episode idea.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right. You know what?
Next week, post-mortem of V Series.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. Yeah,
You
And also, like,
you can make like an award show.
and also I'm like planning out a video on clan identity for next week too. So like,
ooh,
I'm going to get into like general thoughts on the direction of support in V era anyway. So we can just save that for more content next time.
okay, that's fine with me. And then
Because that's going to take way too long to talk about V Series, like, as a concept. Yeah, no, no, I think that's way too long a discussion. It's end of the set review.
yeah, that's fine. All right, so as always, to the listener, who do you think won? Who do you think lost? You can tweet at us at Nexus at Night on Twitter or find us on Instagram. We're on YouTube. Like, some of you might be listening to this on YouTube, in which case, hi.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Cool,
thanks to our patrons at patreon.com/Nexus at Night, especially $10 patrons like Darren and Cole. If you want to help support the show, check us out there. You get a whole ass bonus show every week. Where can people find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums2GCZ.
Find me at Plasma Eclipse.
Find me at Atlas Novak, also on Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.